I'm 28 years old, and I recently did one of those DNA ancestry tests because why not? I thought I'd find out I'm 80% Egyptian, 20% Mediterranean, maybe a sprinkle of North African flair, normal stuff. But then I saw this tiny number, 0.5% Mongolian, and I was like, weird, random. So I Googled it. Mongolian ancestry significance. The first result, 1 in 200 men today are direct descendants of Genghis Khan. I stopped breathing for 6 seconds. Like, hold on, what do you mean? Genghis Khan? The man who invaded half the planet? The dude who made fear itself his personal assistant? That guy? So now I'm sitting there with my tea going cold, realizing I might be part of the deadliest family tree in history. Let's rewind. Like, way back. 12th century Mongolia, before the empires, before the bloodshed, before he became the reason half of Eurasia has trust issues. There was just a kid named Temujin. No army, no wealth, just a boy whose dad got poisoned, whose family got abandoned, and whose childhood could easily win the most traumatizing backstory award. But guess what? That trauma turned him into a savage genius. He wasn't born a king. He became a conqueror because he literally had no other option. Temujin grows up, unites the Mongol tribes, which, trust me, is like trying to unite 15 chaotic group chats, and then, boom, he gets a new name, Genghis Khan, aka Universal Ruler. And what does he do next? Well, you know how people go on road trips when they're bored? Genghis Khan went on a conquest trip across continents. He invades China, Persia, Central Asia, Eastern Europe. Dude was basically on a world tour, but with swords. And here's the wild part. His empire became the largest contiguous land empire in history, stretching over 24 million square kilometers. That's bigger than Africa. His army, brutal, but highly organized. They had military ranks, strict discipline, and could travel over 100 miles per day on horseback. He banned torture, promoted religious freedom, and created a communication system across Asia using mounted couriers, kind of like medieval FedEx. He even introduced a legal code called Yasa and implemented tax breaks for teachers and doctors. Oh, and he established one of the first international trade networks. The Silk Road thrived under his rule. You might hate his methods, but the man knew how to manage a startup. That happened to be an empire. But Genghis didn't just conquer land, he conquered DNA too. Historians estimate he had hundreds of wives and concubines. His sons and grandsons kept the legacy going. A 2003 genetic study found a specific Y chromosome in about 8% of men across a region stretching from northeast China to Uzbekistan. That's roughly 16 million men alive today who might carry his genetic legacy. So yeah, statistically speaking, I could literally be a 0.0000001% prince of the Mongol Empire, which sounds cool. Until you remember this guy's idea of fun was burning cities to the ground and launching flaming heads over castle walls. So here I am, staring at my DNA results, knowing there's a 0.5% chance I'm related to the man who basically invented global domination. And now I can't look at myself the same. Yesterday, I was meal prepping pasta. Today, I'm wondering if my ancestors used to storm castles before breakfast. Am I genetically wired for world conquest? Should I be worried if I enjoy strategy games a little too much? My friends are like, bro, chill, it's just a DNA test. But is it though? Because next time I get into an argument, I can't help but wonder, would my ancestor have solved this by politely talking, or by riding in with a 10,000 horse cavalry? So hey, if you've ever done a DNA test, or plan to, check those small percentages, the ones you almost ignore. You never know what history is hiding in your blood. Maybe it's Genghis Khan, maybe it's someone even wilder. Let me know in the comments, what's the weirdest ancestry result you or someone you know ever got? Or better, go take a test and come back. We'll compare bloodlines. Also, if I randomly disappear from the internet, just know, the Genghis Khan bloodline finally activated. Till then, stick around. This family drama's just getting started.